Welcome back to the Thrive Vodcast. Consistent elk hunting success comes down to stacking the odds in your favor. Most public land DIY hunters take the good enough approach, and then they wonder why they fall into the average 6% success rate. The reality is, if you can't find elk, you can't hunt elk. In this Thrive episode, we're going to dive into expanding your elk hunting toolbox, showing you how to go beyond the basics, integrate multiple tools, and the importance and value in developing a strategic hunt plan. Whether you're a seasoned hunter or just getting started, it's about maximizing efficiency, eliminating guesswork, and ultimately finding more elk. In this episode's gear segment, we preview the new Grakksaw E-Boiler. If you've ever struggled with cleaning your own skulls, dealing with boiling, nasty power washing, or even expensive beetles, then you need to hear about Graksaw's latest innovation in skull cleaning. Let's get to it. Expanding your elk hunting toolbox. If you're an elk hunter, chances are you're using some form of digital e-scouting. These days, even the least tech-savvy hunters rely on technology to some degree. The problem, too many hunters stop short. They become one-dimensional, sticking to just one tool or hunt application, and even worse, they don't fully exploit the application's features. I approach e-scouting and hunt planning as a complete system. I use multiple tools and platforms to evaluate, test, and prepare a comprehensive hunting strategy. The bottom line is, if you can't find elk, you can't hunt elk. E-scouting alone probably won't fill your tag, but when it's done right, it multiplies your odds of success, improves your efficiency in the field, and reduces the overall hunt frustration. Of course, some hunters choose to stick to the basics or simply wing it. A few manage to notch their tags every year, but the truth is, most end up as part of the 6% average public land DIY success rate. That's what good enough will get you. For me, elk hunting is about multiplying and stacking the odds in my favor. No single factor guarantees success, but when you layer multiple tools and tactics together, they start to work for you. Facing the statistical reality. Let's talk about archery elk hunting for a second. Public land DIY elk hunters have a 5 to 10% success rate. But when you break that statistic down further, you will find that the top 10% within that bracket are the ones who consistently harvest elk year after year. This stark reality significantly drops the overall average success rate, especially for newer to intermediate level hunters. The power of a strategic hunt plan. One of the most valuable yet underutilized tools in elk hunting is a written strategic hunt plan. I spend a ton of time developing and preparing mine each season. This plan is where all of my digital e-scouting and preparations come together into a cohesive hunt strategy. This is the cornerstone of my Treeline Academy e-scouting elk course. It's simply not good enough to mark a few points of interest and features. You really need to organize them into a workable strategy. Why is a hunt plan essential? The physical, mental, and nutritional demands of backcountry elk hunting can make clear thinking and sharp focus challenging at best. A strategic hunt plan serves as your guide or grounding resource. It helps you hunt efficiently and intentionally. Your hunt plan integrates your points of interest, elk habitat features, hunt and travel routes, glassing spots, campsites, pressure zones, access points, and more into one solid unified plan. Benefits of a hunt plan. A hunt plan helps you eliminate in-the-field judgment errors. It reduces your mistakes. It maintains productivity and sharp focus, provides options and flexibility. It maximizes your hunting efficiency. It helps you build hunt area historical knowledge. And finally, it reduces the wing it factor. Even after 30 years of elk hunting, I still develop a comprehensive hunt plan for all of my western hunts. What is a hunt area? I always recommend that your overall hunt plan contains multiple hunt areas. Hunt areas are those separate and distinct spots or geographic locations where you could feasibly conduct your entire hunt. Think of hunt areas as your backup hunting spots or options. Changing hunt areas usually requires a significant relocation or a base camp move within the same unit, another mountain range, across the state, or even a significant elevation change. I almost always recommend 3 to 5 separate and distinct core hunt areas, depending on the length and the style of your hunt. This level of preparation boosts your confidence before and during the hunt, ensuring that you always have pre-planned alternatives. Detailed planning like this takes time, but it provides backup options and almost always pays dividends when issues arise. And issues almost always arise. Do we want to go into our most anticipated time of the year ill-prepared? When you're forced to change hunt areas while on a hunt, it can be demoralizing, challenging, and it's certainly a drain on your valuable hunting time. The more prepared you are, the easier the process, and the more likely you are to consider a change if the situation warrants it. I've seen far too many elk hunters become way too invested in a spot with virtually no elk. Often they feel stuck because they have not planned any other options. Maybe that sounds a bit familiar to you. Why multiple hunt areas? General lack of animals or sign, meaning no elk. Too much hunting pressure in the area. Access issues, problems getting to designated access points, unforeseen open or closed roads, weather issues, quality and lack of elk feed, elevation and moisture factors. Any of these factors and more can necessitate a move to another hunt area. Leveraging technology. Today, there are many digital platforms and hunt planning tools available. Many, even most of them, were not created specifically for hunting, but they can be leveraged to improve your elk finding success. Maximizing and using these tools and platforms to their fullest potential is an integral part of my overall process. Whichever digital platforms or hunt applications you choose, it's vital that you learn how to fully utilize and incorporate all of the features. A remarkable number of hunters only learn the basics, limiting their potential for success. Mastering tools and technology can be a serious odds multiplier. Pro tip: always test your offline data downloads and be 100% sure they are functioning properly before you get into the backcountry. I cannot stress this enough. There are many horror stories here. Put your phone in airplane mode and disable your Wi-Fi service, and then navigate to your offline map zones and your individual hunt areas to verify that they have saved correctly and are visually showing correctly. Be sure to cycle through satellite, aerial, hybrid, and topo base maps to ensure that they're all loading correctly. I've experienced several issues with offline maps over the years. Know your limitations. It makes little to no sense to pour all your time and effort into a lot of e-scouting and hunt planning work only to realize you are unable to effectively get yourself in and out of your hunt area, not to mention getting an elk packed out. Remember, limitations are not only restricted to physical ability. Tip: it's incredibly easy to get caught up with distance creep when you're e-scouting. You can't hunt what you can't get to. This can be a real hunt killer. It's important to be honest with yourself, and when you're sitting at your computer, it all seems so simple from that point of view. Working the plan. You prepared a strategic hunt plan for a reason. Work the plan. Most hunters have a limited number of days in the backcountry. Don't spend your precious hunting time in areas with no elk. A solid hunt plan is specifically designed to give you options, make you mobile, and keep you hunting in high percentage areas. Don't let yourself get emotionally invested in a particular spot or in an elaborate base camp operation. Elk are where they want to be, and you need to be prepared to go where they are. Expanding your elk hunting toolbox isn't just about more waypoints. It's about developing a comprehensive and cohesive system that makes you a more effective and efficient elk hunter. Taking the time to prepare, plan, and master the tools available to you will definitely stack more odds in your favor. The choice is simple. Go into your most anticipated time of the year ill-prepared, or put in the work now and hunt with confidence. If you want better results, it's time to start hunting smarter. Brian and I got to sit down with our buddy Austin from Grakksaw, and all I can say is that he does it again. We use so many Grakksaw products on our hunt. He listens to our feedback, and he always comes back with stuff that freaking works in the backcountry. The new Grakksaw E-Boiler continues the trend of excellence. Austin just launched the pre-order for this new e-boiler. Ryan, Brian, and Brad have been testing a prototype version of this unit over the last 3 years. They don't share well, so I've not gotten to use it yet, but I've been promised the very first production model, serial number 01. The e-boiler takes advantage of the maceration method, a process that allows bacteria to naturally break down all of the connective tissue, leaving you with a perfectly cleaned skull without the damage that's caused by boiling. It's hands down the best way to clean skulls with minimal effort and maximum results. A few of the e-boiler highlights. Maceration allows for bacteria to eat away the connective tissue of the skull instead of cooking the flesh. Maceration will yield the same or even better results than using beetles. The e-boiler maintains precise temperature control in all weather conditions. It has an auto-off water level sensor that will kill the power to the heater in the event that you forget to add water, as it does lose some to evaporation. You can do one elk or even multiple deer at the same time. It's simple. Set the temperature and walk away. No more power washing yuck and no more costly beetles. No more weak skulls, broken fine bones, and loose teeth. Those days are all over. The best part is that you get the best possible skull results on your timeline. If you find yourself doing a couple of skulls a year, or maybe you and a few buddies together are doing several skulls a year, you definitely need the E-Boiler. The future of self-taxidermy has arrived. I've included the link to the full podcast in the text description below. You definitely want to check this out. Final thoughts. Elk hunting is a game of odds, and the hunters who consistently find success are the ones who multiply those odds. It's not always about working harder. It's about working smarter. Expanding your elk hunting toolbox isn't about chasing shortcuts. It's about stacking every advantage in your favor, whether it's refining your e-scouting system or developing a strategic hunt plan or ensuring you have multiple hunt areas mapped out. These small changes compound into big results. When the hunt is over, the Grakksaw E-Boiler will help you cherish your success without the hassle, the mess, and the costs associated with traditional skull cleaning. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. I would love to hear what you're doing this year to expand your elk hunting toolbox. Will you go into your most anticipated time of the year prepared, or will you leave it to chance? I'll see you next time.